Hey folks, it's Keith and I'm back with another video on my favorite subject, motorcycles. It's late October, it's raining, I'm not riding today, so I want to talk about something else, and that is whether you should have two motorcycles or not. Now I've had two motorcycles since around 2004, and I can't imagine doing it any other way. Some people may question, well, why would you have two? Isn't one enough? And for me, it's largely about the variety. For example, I've got the Yamaha Super Tenere 1200 here, which is really ideal for sport touring and touring. I can even do some long distance dirt road trips on it. It really does a lot of what I need. But there are times when I really want to go and maybe tear it up a little bit on the dirt or take something that's a little bit more than this bike can handle. So I've got my WR250R. I absolutely love this bike and can't imagine being without it. So for me, it's the variety. It's also nice to have kind of a backup if one of the bikes goes down, but it's really the variety. So I think if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking, of course I want to have two bikes, but is it really worth it? So in this video, I'm going to go through the factors that you should consider if you're looking at getting a second bike. So let's go through those right now. Now the first factor I want to talk about is insurance. You're getting two bikes, you're pretty much doubling your insurance. For me, the Super Tenere cost me $620 a year to insure. The WR250R is $500 a year to insure. So I'm looking at $1,100 just to insure two motorcycles that I'm only riding maybe 8 months out of the year. You know, it really kind of cheeses me off because I've got two bikes. I can only ride one bike at a time. I wish I could just get insurance on me and just pay a much lower premium, but that's not the way it works here in Massachusetts. So if you're looking to get a second bike, I think you should talk to your insurance company. Just get a quote on how much it's going to cost to add a second bike. Now the second factor is a pretty obvious one, the amount it's going to cost to buy a second motorcycle. You know, for me this is a little problematic too, and another sacrifice. I had to take out a loan to buy the Super Tenere. It's costing me about $300 a month to finance it. Fortunately, I have that paid off probably within the next month and I'll be done. But for, probably 4 months out of the year, this bike is sitting, covered, and not going anywhere, yet I'm still paying that $300 a month. So it's something to consider whether you got the financing or not, or whether you can afford to buy something outright. Now with the WR250R, that was a little bit easier. I was actually able to buy this bike with cash by selling two other motorcycles I had and a bunch of other stuff I had online. So no payment for that. So your finances are going to be something you're going to have to consider, whether you want to buy two bikes or not.
Well, here's another factor for you to consider. Storage. Do you have enough room for a second bike? Well, for me, it's pretty tight. I've got two cars already in a two-car garage. So I've added two motorcycles, plus I have a snowblower and a riding lawnmower in there somewhere. So for me, I've got the space, but just barely. Now the Super Tenere, I can get out of the garage without having to move a car, but it's tight. I either have to get a bigger garage or less vehicles, and I'm not willing to make that sacrifice. And I have a rule. I don't park anything outside in the elements, especially not here in New England. So something for you to consider. Do you have enough room for it?
Now the last factor I'll talk about is maintenance. Now, there are times when having two bikes means you're doing twice as much maintenance. Let me explain. At the end of the season, both of these bikes have to be winterized. Now for me that means putting stabilizer in the gas tank, running it through a little bit, maybe doing an oil change, and then also either taking a battery out or putting it on a tender. So I got to repeat that process twice. It's pretty much at least a half a day affair to do that. At the beginning of the season, I got to take the bikes out and kind of reverse a few things. Not as hard. But overall, I'm not doing twice as much maintenance during the year. My yearly or annual average of riding is still about 10,000 miles a year. I'm splitting them up between both bikes. I'm not riding anymore, so it doesn't mean I'm buying more tires or having to buy more chains or anything like that. So maintenance is a little bit of a mixed bag. You have a little bit more labor at the end of the season than you do during the rest of the year. So in the end, I've got two bikes. It's a choice I willingly make, and it does involve some sacrifice and it involves some extra money that sure would be handy at times. But I live, eat, and breathe motorcycles, and I wouldn't have it any other way. My friends all have at least two motorcycles, and they wouldn't think of it any other way either. I'll just say a quick word about having three motorcycles or more. I did that once, and it's tough. The costs go way up, and then there's always a bike that needs something. It needs chain, it needs tires, something like that. So I felt like I was always doing maintenance. So I'll stick to two, like I have been. Now, if you're looking for permission to have two motorcycles, I wholeheartedly give it to you. You have my permission. Well, that's it. Drop a comment below if you have 2 motorcycles or more. Is there anything that I'm forgetting or missing here? I love the conversation that we have about bikes. Thanks for watching. I always appreciate the subscriptions and the likes, and we'll have more motorcycle videos coming soon. Bye.